Jude grabs Oliver by the hand and starts pulling him into the church.
I don't know what's going on. This is foul and wrong.
Opens the door, pulls Ollie in, closes it.
I'm going in. Fuck. God damn it. Stupid. Fuck. God.
Judas strides in with purpose, dragging Ollie along like a suitcase. As you walk in, the vestibule has an occupant. On the other side, you see a girl in a skimpy-looking green dress holding a phone with one of those coiled cords. It's reaching into the other room, and she's looking out towards the chapel. Looks over, sees you all, says, "Yeah, get here soon, please," and just drops the phone and tries her best to sprint towards the chapel to make it there before you do. At this point, John opens the outside door, sees this happening, sees the woman running. Jude does not take notice of her at all. She will run past him, looking terrified, but runs up the aisle towards the glowing light. Jude will catch the door as it's trying to swing back closed and walk through, dragging Ollie, still striding purposefully towards the light. John following close behind. What are you doing?
Still trying to protect Ollie. I am not entirely sure what's going on.
Ollie, are you saying anything, doing anything, just being drug along?
At this point, I've started to maybe dig my heels and be like, have you given this any thought that wasn't just a complete obsession? Is there any sort of logic that you have about just chugging me into a gaping...
I don't have a lot to lose.
You jump in.
Saying this as he's dragging you purposefully towards the altar. Ollie, you see the glowing yellow crack and the two women standing below it. One of them is frantically painting symbols beneath the thing, and the other one looks to be sleeping in a wheelchair. Trying to struggle, you trip on one of the pews that is now clattering around as the room is shaking more violently the closer you get. You are tripped over and are now being drug on your ass. As he strides up towards the altar,
I'm now grabbing on the other arm and being like, okay, wait, what is going on here? We are not sacrificing a young man or another one of his penises. Jesus Christ, just stop.
he looks back. Of course we're not. That's not what I'm doing. Let go.
Then explain what you are doing.
I'm taking him up there so I can get a better look. It won't open for me.
Well, shit!
He looks down. I'm sorry. I've been stressed. Let go, he says, addressing John.
You're not gonna hurt it.
No. I'm just gonna take a closer look.
I will no longer be pulling on Ollie's wrist, but I will still have a grip on his wrist and walk at the same speed as him.
If we're taller, you could do the swingy thing.
There's a girl in skimpy leather bikini top and leather pants who stands up and is shouting to demand who the hell you are. Jude says, "You sure you want to be this close to that thing?" To John.
Not let you throw the kid in.
That's not what I'm going to do.
John will look at Ollie and be like, kid, this is up to you. Are you going close to that thing, or do we need to get the fuck out of here?
I'm curious too, but do you think you'd be able to get a closer look if I stood here and you just went closer, Judas?
I'm not willing to take that risk. You seem to have godlike powers.
That was the case. I think I'm going with, but I'm not going to require you to come with. With a death grip and looking at him like, it's your choice, but also, please don't leave me. Terrified. Is a grown man, looks like a terrified little child. Like a 21-year-old comes up to you at the bar and asks where the line is. Like, realize that they're just kids still.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm standing next to him.
Judas gives an exasperated sigh and pulls Ollie forward, perhaps unnecessarily forcefully. Betsy, you're taking pictures of all this?
I'm more focused on making sure my beeper works. I really need some black suits here right now. I don't know what information I can put through this beeper beyond to get my backup here right now, but if I can tell them that there's a dimensional anomaly here, I am.
The thing gives a little dial tone spark, gives another dial tone interrupted, and then starts to spark again. The screen on it is flashing all sorts of different characters and not characters. Tap on it and give it a little shake. It completes the little dial tone, showing that it did in fact send the message. The beeper then shows a little text on the front as best it can in the little digit display. It flashes up, help, and then promptly turns off smoking.
That's all I needed. My bosses know where I am and that I need help. I'm trying to think if there's anything better to do here besides taking pictures. There is.
I don't believe anybody here requisitioned the background backup, did they?
I had to change my requisition because I don't have any contacts here besides Truthodox, who wasn't going to help me. I've got Spies 2, Resource 1, Backup 1.
Wonderful.
So it literally 2 guys in a car will show up. Like, they'll be able to tell who's really important what's going on.
That's always a fun one to requisition.
Just some guys in case something went wrong sounded very useful.
It's not a bad idea. Backup.
Andrew, you're brilliant.
You probably won't like the main character, but out of character, yes, I am.
Typical backup personnel have traits in the 1 to 3 range with 1 or 2 notable skills.
They're eyes with phones that can call my boss. That's really what I want out of them right now.
Yeah. You, perhaps too late, notice that quite a few of those sparks are still there, despite the thing having shut down, and they're fluttering around the thing in strange geometric shapes. The moths killed your beeper? As you are doing this, Jude strode forward, yanking Oliver forward in his apparent impatience towards the rift. He looks over to the girls, one of which who's been shouting for the last minute or so, demanding to know who you are, why you're here, and then just started looking at the portal as it began to grow wider as Oliver gets closer to it. Judas says, "Evening, ladies." Grabs Oliver under the armpit with one hand and the wrist with the other, and judo throws him into the rift. Oh, God damn it. The dice gods are not with you today.
I'm gonna look Judas in the eye, like completely deadpan, as I knew he was gonna do this. Like, I don't even resist. I just lip noodle. I just look him in the eyes as I'm flying into the portal, and I'm like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
The last thing you hear is, I know. And then static.